talk about LeBron James, the Lakers head coach, saying he is out for personal reasons. It's an excused absence. However, social media trying to connect it to a resurfaced clip where James joined Diddy Combs on a live stream and said, quote, "Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party." I think that went viral.
Known that I've talked for a while, a lot of people are buzzing that Diddy's former BFFs are real quiet.
And they have been.
And people were wondering why and who's the next to fall. And then Jay-Z comes out and then LeBron James says, "I'm stepping away for excused personal reasons." And people are going, oh, what is going on?
The sports world is in shock after reports surfaced claiming that NBA superstar LeBron James is under investigation by the FBI. For over 2 decades, LeBron has been the face of basketball, a cultural icon, businessman, and philanthropist who built an empire both on and off the court. But now, whispers of a federal probe have sent shockwaves through the industry. According to emerging reports, the FBI is allegedly looking into LeBron's business operations, financial connections, and certain investments tied to companies with suspicious backgrounds. While nothing has been confirmed publicly, insiders claim that the situation could be far more serious than fans realize.
We haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
That he has, with others, and just because no one else has been charged, which normally in a RICO case, you would have others charged. It was a statute that designed to get mob bosses. Trying to get at criminal behavior that's like a web of criminal behavior that you can't necessarily prove like the one thing or the statute of limitations expired on the other thing, but you're just showing this bad guy who's operating what's clearly an enterprise that over and over engages in criminal problems or criminal acts.
What started as a few rumors on sports blogs has now snowballed into a full-blown controversy dominating headlines. Social media is ablaze with speculation as people try to piece together how one of the most calculated and respected figures in modern sports could suddenly be facing federal scrutiny. The story reportedly began when a series of leaked documents surfaced online, allegedly connecting one of LeBron's business affiliates to questionable offshore financial dealings. These claims suggested that money had been funneled through shell companies, potentially linked to tax evasion or improper investment practices. While LeBron himself has not been officially accused of wrongdoing, the fact that his name appears in the same conversation as an FBI probe has already caused damage to his reputation. The whispers are growing louder and fans are beginning to ask difficult questions. How deep does this go? And could it actually touch LeBron directly?
Them when they win, I criticize them when they're messing up in an effort to make sure that you don't do it again. I'm not wishing anybody to fail, but I have to call it how I see it because I have an audience to answer to. These players, I don't get paid to.
Sports insiders are treating the situation cautiously, but the tone has shifted dramatically from admiration to concern. The media frenzy around this case mirrors the kind of coverage typically reserved for political or Hollywood scandals, not an athlete of LeBron's stature. Adding to the chaos are conflicting reports about what triggered the investigation. Some sources claim that a routine financial audit of a sports management firm uncovered unusual transactions tied to one of LeBron's companies. Others suggest that the FBI had already been monitoring certain business activities connected to the entertainment and sports sector, and that LeBron's name surfaced during that process. Either way, the story has taken on a life of its own. Online commentators are dissecting every business move he's made in the past 5 years, from real estate deals and sports partnerships to film projects and endorsement contracts. And because of LeBron's prominence, the impact of these allegations stretches far beyond basketball. Major sponsors, including global brands tied to his image, are said to be monitoring the situation, a corporate phrase that often signals growing discomfort. This isn't just about one athlete under fire. It's about what happens when power, money, and influence intersect at the highest levels of sports.
But we begin with a story that has dominated the headlines. The FBI announced on Thursday that 2 major operations, one involving the sharing of insider information for betting on NBA games, and the other centering on rigged poker games using high-tech cheating devices, have led to the arrest of more than 30 suspects.
LeBron has built his career on the image of transparency, leadership, and moral integrity. So the idea of an FBI investigation targeting any part of his empire feels almost unreal to fans who have followed his every move. But as the story continues to develop, the lines between rumor and reality are starting to blur. As speculation deepens, fans and analysts are starting to connect dots across LeBron's massive business portfolio. The athlete's off-court empire is built around several key ventures, including his entertainment company, Spring Hill, and multiple investment projects across sports, media, and tech industries. It's that complexity that now has people talking. Reports suggest that federal investigators are allegedly reviewing whether any of these ventures were connected to improper financial practices involving third-party investors. Some of those investors, according to early leaks, are tied to international business entities already under investigation for financial misconduct. This potential overlap is what has reportedly caught the FBI's attention. Whether LeBron was aware of any wrongdoing remains unknown, but his connection to the entities in question has created a firestorm of speculation. Insiders in the sports business world describe this situation as one of the most sensitive cases they've seen in years. That's because LeBron's brand isn't just personal, it's institutional. His name carries enormous influence across the NBA, entertainment, and corporate America.
The first indictment involves 6 defendants. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association athletes.
We do have more breaking news this morning. 2 big names in the NBA among more than 30 people arrested in connection with federal investigation into sports betting and illegal gambling.
If his image were to be tarnished by association, the ripple effect could be massive. Endorsement deals, television contracts, and ongoing partnerships could all face pressure if federal involvement is confirmed. It's the kind of scandal that could send shockwaves through not just basketball, but the broader world of celebrity business ventures. The timing makes it even more explosive, as LeBron is approaching the twilight of his playing career, with discussions about his final season dominating sports headlines. At the heart of the controversy lies one key question: how much responsibility should a celebrity have for the actions of their business partners? LeBron's empire, like many modern moguls, is built on delegation. Teams of lawyers, accountants, and executives manage his investments and partnerships.
Great father, great husband, great philanthropist, great businessman, great director, great producer, great host, great basketball player, great leader. I mean, my God, I have done everything but put diapers and a bib on this brother. But it ain't enough, because one thing matters to him and one thing only, and that's him being recognized as the greatest of all times. Well, you're not, in my...
But as history has shown, when federal investigators start digging, every name attached to the paper trail gets examined. The FBI's alleged interest in LeBron's network suggests they're not just looking at isolated incidents, but possibly a pattern involving certain financial movements. Some reports even claim that subpoenas have been issued to individuals within his extended business circle, though no official documents have been released. The public reaction has been polarized. Supporters are calling the situation a witch hunt, pointing to LeBron's history of philanthropy and activism as proof that he's being unfairly targeted. Critics, however, argue that it's yet another example of how extreme wealth can blur ethical lines. Social media debates have erupted, with fans clashing over whether the allegations are politically motivated or based on legitimate evidence. As the noise grows, one thing is becoming clear: this isn't just a temporary controversy. It's the kind of story that could shape the next chapter of LeBron's legacy, for better or worse.
Sources told the Post that Jones sent a message to one of the betting ring members on February 9, 2023, urging him to place a large bet on the Lakers' opponent, the Milwaukee Bucks, because James would be out with an injury.
The mainstream media has now jumped in, further fueling the frenzy. Major sports networks have begun quietly covering the story, though most are careful with their language, referring to it as a developing federal inquiry. Still, the mere mention of the FBI's involvement has transformed this from gossip into a legitimate national story. Journalists have started digging into LeBron's known financial activities, tracing the growth of his companies and the global expansion of his brand. They've pointed out how LeBron's transition from athlete to billionaire mogul has paralleled those of figures like Michael Jordan and Jay-Z, but also how that level of financial complexity inevitably attracts scrutiny. The bigger the empire, the more moving parts there are, and the more room for mistakes, intentional or not. A viral thread on social media recently broke down a series of financial filings linked to Spring Hill, LeBron's production company, showing foreign investors that fans claim could be connected to the alleged investigation. None of these claims have been proven, but they've sparked enough conversation to dominate online headlines. People are analyzing every public document, trying to connect pieces of the puzzle that might not even fit together. Meanwhile, several of LeBron's current and former business partners have declined to comment publicly, only adding to the mystery. Even teammates and NBA officials have avoided addressing the issue directly, creating an awkward silence that only amplifies the speculation. Despite the swirling chaos, LeBron has remained publicly silent. His social media activity has slowed down, and his PR team has refused to address the rumors, insisting that there is no official investigation into LeBron James at this time. However, silence can sometimes speak louder than words. Fans are used to seeing LeBron respond quickly to any controversy, especially one that could damage his legacy, and the lack of response is being interpreted as uncertainty. Meanwhile, online influencers and conspiracy channels have taken full advantage, pushing narratives ranging from financial misconduct to political targeting. Every hour, new claims emerge, each wilder than the last, making it increasingly difficult to separate facts from fiction.
Individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today, former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible.
At this point, the speculation has reached a fever pitch. The story isn't just about alleged legal issues anymore. It's about perception, power, and legacy. Whether guilty or innocent, LeBron's public image is under attack, and perception often matters more than truth in the age of viral media. The FBI connection, even if exaggerated, has cast a long shadow over one of the most polished careers in sports history. The next few weeks could determine whether this storm fades quietly or explodes into one of the biggest legal sagas ever to hit the NBA. Behind the scenes, the pressure is reportedly mounting. LeBron's inner circle is said to be on high alert, working overtime to manage the fallout. His legal team has allegedly begun reviewing contracts, partnerships, and past transactions to ensure there are no loose ends that could attract real federal attention. PR strategists are preparing crisis management plans in case the rumors solidify into something more concrete. Sources claim that several of LeBron's associates have been advised to keep communication to a minimum and avoid interviews until more information is known. That kind of preparation usually signals concern, not necessarily guilt, but awareness that the situation could escalate quickly if mishandled. In today's era, perception management is just as critical as legal defense. The NBA, too, is reportedly monitoring developments. While the league has faced scandals before, a potential FBI probe involving its biggest star would be unprecedented. LeBron isn't just a player. He's a brand ambassador, a global face of the sport, and a business empire intertwined with the league itself. Any legal entanglement, even indirectly, could create ripple effects that shake sponsorships, partnerships, and future media rights deals. Insiders suggest that the league's executives are already discussing contingency plans, aware that even the perception of federal involvement could tarnish the NBA's image of professionalism and global integrity. This isn't the kind of scandal the league can afford, especially as it continues expanding internationally. At the same time, public sympathy for LeBron remains surprisingly strong. Many fans argue that his contributions to the community, from scholarships in schools to social justice campaigns, make him an easy target for sensationalism. They believe that if his name is being used in connection to a federal probe, it's because of his prominence, not because of actual wrongdoing. Yet even among supporters, there's unease. The uncertainty is what makes this story powerful. Nobody knows whether this will fade as a rumor or evolve into something that permanently reshapes LeBron's legacy. In the background, the whispers continue growing. Anonymous insiders keep dropping new claims, and online investigators keep dissecting them, creating an endless cycle of speculation. Meanwhile, mainstream outlets tread carefully, avoiding direct accusations but hinting at ongoing federal interest. This delicate balance between rumor and reality is what makes the situation so volatile. The smallest update could shift public opinion drastically, and in the world of sports, perception often becomes truth. As things stand, the LeBron James FBI investigation story has reached a critical point. Either the rumors will collapse under their own weight, or they'll uncover something that sends shockwaves through professional sports. The uncertainty is what's keeping fans glued to every update. For LeBron, the stakes couldn't be higher. His legacy isn't just about championships, It's about image, influence, and impact. Over the years, he's carefully built a narrative of leadership and social responsibility, setting himself apart from controversies that have ruined other athletes. That's what makes these allegations so damaging. Even if proven false, the stain of federal suspicion can linger long after the headlines fade. What's fascinating is how this story reveals the fragile nature of modern celebrity. In an era of constant surveillance and digital transparency, even the most powerful figures are vulnerable to public doubt. One rumor, one leaked document, or one misinterpreted transaction can snowball into a career-threatening crisis. For someone like LeBron, whose global brand depends on trust, that vulnerability is amplified tenfold. The public expects perfection, and when perfection cracks, the backlash is merciless. Whether he did anything wrong or not, this situation has exposed how even the cleanest image can be tarnished in the court of public opinion. The sports world is watching closely, waiting for clarity. Legal experts have pointed out that if the FBI truly were investigating any of LeBron's business ventures, official statements or subpoenas would likely surface soon. Until then, the silence leaves room for speculation, and speculation is fuel for chaos. Meanwhile, sponsors, investors, and fans are all bracing for whatever comes next. For now, all eyes are on how LeBron responds. Does he issue a statement, deny everything outright, or stay silent and hope the storm passes? Each choice carries risk. In the world of media and perception, timing can mean everything. Ultimately, whether this turns out to be a misunderstanding, a smear campaign, or something more serious, one thing is certain. This moment will be remembered. It will test the strength of LeBron's image, the loyalty of his supporters, and the resilience of a legacy that's been nearly flawless until now. The FBI rumors may fade, but the conversation they sparked will linger. In a world where fame and scrutiny go hand in hand, even a whisper can turn into a storm. And that's the full story on LeBron James's reported FBI investigation and the growing storm around his legacy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more breaking updates and deep dives into the biggest scandals shaking the sports world.